Hello, welcome to Loghouse Farm. This was the year for us to add to our flock. So in April, we acquired 8 one-day-old chicks. We started them in a brooder, and we have a video for that if you're interested. I'll leave a link in the comments below. Since we already have adult chickens, we'd need a place for the chickens to grow after they left the brooder. The chicks would be too small to add in with the rest of the chickens. The adults would pick on them. The new chicks will need an intermediate home until they're almost the same size as the adults. So I decided to put together something out of materials we already have in the barn, as much as possible. First I had to figure out what I need for the mini coop. I wanted something that would have easy access for feeding and watering and for cleaning. I also wanted whatever was built to provide some shade and shelter for the chicks. I needed something with a little outside area and fully enclosed to keep them in and anything else out, including the other chickens and our cats. Our cats don't bother the adult chickens, but I'm not sure what they might do to younger, smaller chicks. So it needed to be safe. It also needed to be placed within the current fenced-in chicken run behind the adult coop. This way, the older chickens and younger pullets will live close to each other for a long time before we introduce the new ones into the old flock. Less hostility when the introduction takes place, as they'll have a little time to get used to each other. Now that I know what I need to have in my mini coop, now I need to find out what we have in the barn to make this with. The first thing I looked at was a half door that was for the tack room. This is a door that has been pinned open with a brick for years and is never closed, so I can remove it and use it as the base. The door is about 4 feet by 4 feet and is really solid, so that's a really good start. I have a few 2x4s left over from other projects, and I was able to locate just enough paneling to do the siding. For the roof, I found some beveled cedar boards, and I had just enough of them to make the roof, but I was not able to make a decent overhang as I only had a small amount of this material. Time to start building. I wanted to do the work at the barn and then move the coop into place later, but it would be very heavy when completed. So I built it up on the John Deere trailer. I plan to do the basics here in front of the barn, get everything cut and then fit it, and then move it into place and complete the rest of the work there. The location for the coop is in the chicken run, and that's fairly far from the barn, and the barn is where all the tools are. With the door that I used as a floor sitting flat on the John Deere trailer, I used the 2x4s to make a frame and left the 2x4s long to act as legs, raising the chicken coop up so the pullets will have room underneath to shelter. I framed out a large door on the back of the coop. This is where I can access the inside of the coop for feeding, watering, and cleaning. Most of the siding will be cut here at the barn and then painted, but will be added to the coop after it is in place. I did want to add the siding on the back to make sure the door fit right. I did mess up the hinges though, and rather than start again with the door, I just notched out some of the siding. I'm not going for anything super fancy here, but I will try to make it look as nice as I can for something that's made from stuff I found in the barn. I also made a small door on the front for the chickens to get in and out of their run. I drilled some holes and ran some rope through so that we can open and close their door from outside of the enclosure. The door slides pretty well, but it does stick a bit. It'll work better if I add some weight to it. I made the roof separate so that it would be easier to get it all out to its permanent location once the coop's in place, then I can just put the roof on top of it. With everything cut and painted and most of the main structure built and ready, it's time to move the coop out to where it will live. From here, my wife and I carried it into the chicken run, and I started to add the remaining parts. I added the siding, placed the roof on it, and then I built a frame around the whole thing with 2x2s, then stapled some chicken wire to it. Hopefully this will keep them safe. But since the coop's already placed in the chicken run, it should be extra predator resistant. The main chicken run has the bottom of the chicken wire buried 6 inches down and about a foot away from the fence. So even if a predator tries to dig under the fence, they'll just end up hitting chicken wire and likely give up for something easier elsewhere. Hopefully this setup will allow the pullets to grow to maturity, safe from predators and safe from the adult hens as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and feel free to leave any comments on the build. I know I've got a lot to learn, and some of you out there may have some very helpful advice for me, so feel free to put it in the comments below, and some others may benefit from your comments as well.